All right, we'll call the meeting to order. Mr. Feldheim, the leader of the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Before we approve the agenda, I was asked to remove under number 6, item B. We won't be approving the purchase of a pickup today, so that will remove from the agenda. And that's the only change I'm aware of. There may be another change when we get to that point, but we'll discuss that when we get there. Entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
As amended, move.
Motion by Weiss.
Second.
Second by Gage. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. This time we'll open the meeting up for any public comment from anyone that wishes to address us this morning on any topic that isn't on the agenda. In the room, out there online, or on the phone, anyone want to talk to us today? Seeing none, we will move on to the adoption of fiscal year 2025 budget. Anyone have any questions or comments on the budget? We put in a little time reviewing each department request and coming up with a final number. As of now, we've all signed off on the budget.
Up, down, and sideways. Motion to approve.
Okay, motion by Weiss,
Second.
second by Feldheim. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next up, first reading of the following ordinances. Lynn.
Okay, ordinance 276. Ordinance 276, an ordinance amending Title IV, second revision, Brown County ordinances as amended, to rezone certain described property filed by Jeffrey Walsh to go from heavy industrial district to highway commercial district.
All right, is there anyone here to speak to ordinance 276? Seeing none, entertain a motion to approve.
Move.
Motion by Weiss,
Second.
second by Dennert. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Ordinance 277, an ordinance amending Title IV, second revision, Brown County ordinances as amended, to rezone certain described property filed by Amy and Joshua Gulfstead to go from Ag Preservation District to Mini Ag District.
Is there anyone here to speak to ordinance 277? Seeing none, entertain a motion to approve.
Move. Second.
Motion by Feldheim, second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Ordinance 278, an ordinance amending Title IV, second revision, Brown County ordinances as amended, to rezone certain described property filed by Jackie Holler for S&B Holdings LLC to go from Ag Preservation District to Mini Ag District.
Is there anyone here to speak to ordinance 278? Seeing none, entertain a motion to approve.
Move. Second.
Motion by Dennert, second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Moving on, Mike Scott, landfill manager, to discuss a couple issues. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning. That time of year to talk tipping fees, I guess, at the landfill, so we'll, I think everyone's got the handout. I guess some of the fees we adjusted last year, and we're gonna adjust the rest of the fees this year, along with some of those that we did do last year. We'll be, as you can see, we'll be raising some of our fees, some of our main fees with our household waste. That's probably our main waste item that we take in, from 38 a ton to 42. So it pretty much goes down the line. We raise tires up some, and mobile homes. Mobile homes we take in maybe 10 a year, so it's really not a major increase. $4 a ton, around 10%. And the biggest reason is just some of our projects that are upcoming, not just next year, but the years after, to keep in line with our generating that revenue to pay for those projects. So that $4 a ton or $3 a ton, $1 that'll go to the state, but, $3, that'll be $150,000 to $200,000 in extra revenue.
And the funds that go to the state, we have an opportunity to apply for them as well for
Correct,
grants or
to
equipment.
return that money in the form of a grant.
Mhm.
But the state does take $1 per ton.
Okay. And we've been pretty fortunate to get a good amount of that back for various grants over the years, so that's
Correct,
good.
and we will keep applying for grants even as construction projects or other equipment purchases come up, so. And I did list, the other cities in South Dakota as far as where they're at with their fees too. So, from going from 38 to 42 is not out of line with a lot of the other facilities of our size. The closest one is Sioux Falls, but...
Yeah, it's actually pretty reasonable compared to several,
Right.
so, of like size.
And Sioux Falls is probably 10 times our volume.
Sure.
We were just down there, and so yeah, it's...
You and your staff make it about as easy and convenient for the public as possible, and still do the spring and fall cleanup.
Right, yep, our folks.
It's important to stay ahead of the bear when it comes to what we're doing with closure, post-closure, and
Correct, and like I said,
Sales
it's the
coming.
last thing you want to do is raise fees, you want to keep them as reasonable as possible, but this increase is very minimal
Sure.
compared to what some of the equipment is going to cost, and the unknown when we go to do cell construction, I guess, we don't know where that's gonna be either, so.
Everything's going up. All right, so at this time, we're approving the increase in the tipping fees. Anyone have any other questions or comments? These are your recommendations.
These are recommendations, correct?
so moved.
Motion by Weiss,
Second.
second by Gage, to increase the tipping fees as per the schedule. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thanks for the information.
Thanks,
Yep.
Mike.
Thank you for this.
And then the other assessments.
Then the other
we will
assessments
hold
we'll
off
deal with
on.
next week.
Yep. We'll need a resolution drafted to that effect, so
Yep.
we'll deal with
You've got
that.
the information there,
Yep,
so.
yep. All right.
And last thing will be our permit renewal. Leaf is here from Helms too, if anybody's got any questions. The permit renewal is, well, you saw the binder. If anybody'd like to glance through that.
Binders.
From the paperwork.
So everything is pretty much, hasn't changed, I guess. I don't know if Leaf's got any comments on the permit renewal, but, the state will review it and hopefully issue us our permit, and, we'll be
Be good to go. for another year.
operational.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we appreciate you keeping us in compliance from a paperwork standpoint. Motion to authorize chairman to sign.
All right, motion by
Second.
Weiss, second by Denner. Is there any further discussion? Yeah, there's a lot of pages there, so. All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. I will get those signed, and we'll get them where they need to be.
Good.
All right.
Call you when we're done.
Thanks for your
Yeah,
assistance.
that works.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Did you email that to Lynn?
Yeah, I can't. How many of the documents?
How many trees did we kill?
We probably don't want to know.
No.
All right?
All right.
Thank you.
You got an extra copy.
Yep.
They can add anyhow.
All right, next up, Rachel Kipley, RFP for grandstands for 25
Morning.
through 29.
Good morning.
Morning, Rachel.
I think you guys had an email to you, right, the RFP language? So yeah, just
Yes.
looking to advertise, we had the racetrack contract is up, so advertising to see if they or another entity is interested in partnering with us.
Time goes by quick, doesn't it?
Yep,
How long was the old contract?
4 years, started in 2020, and then, or in, 2020, and they did run during COVID, so
Okay.
that's included in their contract.
The current lease agreement's got the 2019 date on it, the version that I got.
Yeah, so what we were hoping to do is just put an attachment so people can go read the old contract, because this is it doesn't have all the specifics of what the contract itself does. It gives you guys the flexibility once you get the proposals to say, hey, this one is the best, this one's, because some might have a higher number, but maybe they're not offering what exactly you want, so we put the language in here so that you guys can kind of do a weighted, what's all included. 'Cause
Essentially like a professional services
Right on, yep.
contract, so, yeah. Gets
And the
us-
auditor's office is helping us get it put on the new, what's the website called? See if we can get more folks interested in exposure to it.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, we'll wait for submission of, proposals.
So I think we need to authorize advertising.
All right.
I'll move it.
Motion by Denner, second by Weiss, to authorize advertising of the RFP for the grandstands. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Final numbers for the fair.
Still waiting on a few to
Still
come
waiting a
in,
few?
yeah, we don't have, Centennial Village yet and a couple others, so,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, thanks,
Thank
Rachel.
you.
Thank you.
Next up, Justin Scott, Brown County Treatment Court Association. Request funds from opioid settlements. Good morning.
Good morning. I also have Carrie and Brock from Court Supervision here. They're involved with the treatment court on a day-to-day basis, so if you had any questions about the inner workings of that, they'd be the ones to answer it.
All right.
I'm here today on the capacity as president of Brown County Treatment Court Association. Judge McNeese had approached me a few months ago about starting an association to help meet funding gaps for the treatment court. We've applied for 501c3 status, we're waiting on that. So we'd be able, going forward, to take donations from the general public and give them a tax-deductible statement for that. The treatment court, for those who aren't aware, it's an alternate route for those who have substance abuse issues. There's a drug court track and there's the DUI court track, and seeks to reduce recidivism through treatment, community support, community involvement, and supervision. It's partially funded through the state. State pays employee salaries, state pays mental health and chemical dependency treatment costs, but there's other things that there's a need for funds for. Specifically, what the association would be looking to cover is incentives for participants. Let's see. There's graduations when somebody completes the program. We pay for costs associated with that, and then just if a participant...
Activities.
Yeah, activities, but if a participant has needs for necessities or things like those that they can't get anywhere else, we'd cover those costs. We think we're requesting funds from the opioid settlement based on the information for approved uses. We think we would qualify for that. We wouldn't be the first treatment court program to receive those funds. We're aware that Brookings, Beetle, Meade, and Hughes counties have all put those opioid funds towards their treatment court programs. We're requesting $25,000. Obviously, we'd take whatever you would give us. And speaking with Judge McNeese, he thinks $25,000 would probably cover our costs for about 3 years, if not more. We will be seeking funds from other places. We'll be requesting from the city opioid settlement funds from them as well. But we'd request your consideration in allowing us to receive some of those funds.
I think that's clearly an appropriate use for that.
All right. Len, based on your opinion, these are legitimate use of these funds, from what you understand at this point?
Yep, and Ross, I know, has reviewed it too, and we've seen comments on it, so.
Motion to approve.
All right, motion by Weiss,
Second.
second by Feldheim to approve the use of the opioid settlement funds for the Brown County Treatment Court Association. Is there any further discussion? I think this did good use of these dollars, and hopefully it does a lot of good, so. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your work.
Thank
you.
Show that I understand on that one.
I would support your effort.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Gates did abstain from that vote since there is a connection with a family member that works closely with that department, so let that record be noted. Next up, Judy Dash, Building Superintendent, change order for the building restoration project. And quotes for the 124 building downspouts. Good morning.
Zach, good morning.
Yeah, you just made it on time. Like your little pumpkins.
Thank you.
You're so festive.
Got those from Patricia.
Yes.
Have little festivities in the chambers. And
Yeah.
we're gonna carve them when we're done, so hopefully that's okay. We won't make too much of a mess.
Can't wait to see your face.
So we're gonna stuff them down the...
You're not gonna stuff them down the toilet. Just fixing some of that.
Just the innards. Have fun cleaning that up.
You want me to go first?
Yep, you can certainly go first.
Okay, this is on the 124 building, the storm sewer line clean out stuff. For the, north side of the building, the gutter has been running out on the parking lot there and creating a skating pond way previous to me. And, we got 2 bids on that, you can see that. They did this very same thing, Aberdeen Contracting, which is Jeremy Thorson's people. They did the very same thing down at the Shrine, where they had the same problem, and they did it, I went down and looked at it, it's pretty slick what they did. They put a Y right at the top of the asphalt. There'll be, where the gutter comes down, and another with a cap on it, so they can go in and steam it out if it needs to be, if it freezes up, which we'll put a heat tape down in there to alleviate this dangerous skating, whatever, pond per se. People park there and they have to walk across that every time they go to work for 911 and all that, so that's what these 2 are for. They are apples for apples, as you can see. We've seen a difference in the prices with it. And that's why I had Jeremy come over and make sure that everything was the same, so.
Yeah, when there's that big price difference, you wanna make sure we're comparing apples to apples and everything.
The
was-
difference is like Sue was a 12 and Jeremy's an 8 inch.
Yeah, on the pipe size, Jeremy says we don't need a 12 inch, we just did this it's just a gutter.
Sure.
It's just a gutter window, so don't need to be that big. But, I know Dominic is busy, very busy right now, so.
Sure.
Anyways. Your recommendation is the Aberdeen Contracting? I do.
I would, yeah, go ahead.
Move it then.
Second.
Okay, motion by Denner, second by Weiss to approve the Aberdeen Contracting, let's think what's the name of it?
Mhm.
Bid for around $16,000, so.
Yeah, you wanna tell them what the price is?
They have it.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know if we had to say it out.
We've seen it.
Okay.
You can
All
say
in
it.
favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
All good news.
Yes.
Now
Mine was cheaper.
Let's spend some more money.
Well, on the tuck pointing project, they have tuck pointed the garage in the area that they can. Our lintel over the garage doors, is bad, so we need to replace that. So I have a change order request for $66,281 for that. And, what they're gonna have to do is take off I think there's like 4 rows of the brick up there, and then, lay the roof over and get the lintel in there and get it bolted in, welded in, and then they will start putting the brick back up.
Essentially replace the steel beam that
Steel beam that...
supports the roof across the
supports,
span
yep,
of the
yep,
garage door.
Yep, they actually say, replace and, flash the it's a double lintel, and then they have to, install multiple shoring posts on that to keep it up and keep
While
it...
they're replacing.
Right, that's what
They'll put a post just beside the garage door there to the east of the garage door right there.
Mm-hmm.
$66,000. Back in 1974, we built a whole jail for $85,000. Things change.
Yep.
All right.
Needs to get done. Motion to approve.
Motion by Weiss,
Second.
second by Feldheim. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
They anticipate getting that done in this fiscal year.
Yes, they are, yep. I'll have you sign that.
Okay.
Okay, on the next, price of, can't finish the dome this year because we cannot put this baffling up on our roof up there. So they wanna put these poles in and attach them to our structural stuff under the roof, I guess you wanna say, in the attic. This is just the cost for the steel suppliers, the roofers, and the metal installation of these 16 roof openings that we have to have. This isn't, like I said, an estimated price. It could be, I'm hoping it's gonna be a little bit less, but this does not include a price for the structural engineers to come and do the drawings and do the, where the placement's gotta be and all that kind of stuff. And that was for $113,674.
Cutting 16 holes in the roof, what could possibly go wrong?
Lots. Like I said, I'm really worried about our glass tile up there.
You
they're gonna have
potential for leaking going forward. I mean, yeah, you seal up things
Oh.
as good as you can, but you're cutting 16 holes in the roof, so
Yep.
it just increases the chances drastically of future leakage, but you gotta do what you gotta
It needs to
do.
be done so we
Yep.
can get the dome and,
Restored it,
yep,
yep.
so. And I'm not gonna say this is we're gonna be the last because, like, we have the, structural steel upstairs in the dome area that, I'm hoping he's gonna go up there today and remove some of the brick along the beam, or, the beams up there, and see how far that is, what we need to do with that. So we might need to get IMAG up there and back to do that too, so.
So Commissioner Sutton and I were on a call yesterday with the folks. There's an estimate, hopefully a high estimate, but it does not include the engineering, which is yet to be done. Very interesting construction, the upper portion of this building. It's like an old ship. Huge steel beams, and then it's got, not completely sure, reinforced tile panels between purlins that go across to support it, so they've got to determine exactly where they're gonna position. Essentially what they're gonna do is put 4 support posts off of the steel structure where it's gonna be able to support it on all 4 quadrants of the roof system in order to be able to support the scaffolding to do what needs to be done with the upper portion up there to be able to support it. The other alternative which they offered was to use a very large crane with a cherry picker, which would take an awful long time and a lot more money than this potential solution. So the dome is supported very well where it's at, but I'm able to try and support that
We have
separately, per portion of it.
we have massive beams up there, so it's really, it amazes me because I don't know how back in them days they got those big beams up there. I swear, I haven't stood beside them because I can't get to them, but like at least 4 foot. They're huge.
Block and tackle and teams of horses, I'm sure it sounds.
Yeah,
It's an
well, there's
interesting
not that-
tour if you wanna go have a look.
Yeah,
but-
we would take you up there to look at it, so.
And that clay
Yeah.
tile that she's talking about under the rubber roof is think of composite decking. How it's,
Got the whole.
and then it has the uprights in there, and it's hollow. That's what that is, only it's tile.
And then you have, cement, like about a 2 to 3 inch cement along the bottoms of them, and then they have these purlins, these metal strips.
Racks for them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so, but like I explained to them, like I said, they have to be really, really careful, because I said, when you get up into the attic up in there and putting these in, you know, we have insulation up there, which is really hard to see what you're on. But I said, we have conduit that is just laying up there going every which direction you can imagine. And I said, I have all this ductwork up there. And I said, I do not want crushed ductwork, and I do not want them coming through the ceiling. So.
I don't think they wanna come through the ceiling.
No.
Not very badly, no.
No.
Tall ceilings.
But,
So,
you know, we have, they have to.
It's been good for 125 years, but here we are.
Right.
Yep.
Are you available if I schedule a tour sometime? Give you a call in.
It's really interesting.
I'd like to go up there and
Yeah.
take a look.
You can see what we're up against.
What we have to fund.
Yeah, right.
Yep, we wanna try and maintain the building for the next 2 or 3 generations, so,
That's correct.
cost of doing business. All right, well, entertain a motion to approve the additional expenditure proposed today. Motion by Weiss. Second by Gage. Any further discussion or questions?
The completion and the impact on the budget years is dependent on the weather and the progress of it, so.
Yeah.
Some
And like
are all
I
may
say,
or may not be this
yeah.
year, and some may be there next year.
yeah, and like I say, I don't have, you know, what I'm using up this year out of my budget that I had for the dome. You know, I don't have it in my budget, but I'm hoping, like at the end of the year, hoping I have some luck that you can roll it over for me, and with all the, other projects that we're doing, we get money back,
Sure.
that can go.
We'll figure it out.
Yep.
Timing doesn't always coincide with the weather and delays and the things you run into, so
Yeah.
we'll deal with it as best we can.
And like we talked in the meeting, they're gonna try and get those initial posts up this year through and flash and everything, so next year they can bring the structure and set it on those, because they have to bridge over the gables of each north, south, east, and west with their beams.
And we'll get to keep the poles.
Yeah, those are gonna stay through the roof
The
forever.
verticals, yeah.
That's for our next edition.
That would hide the tower, well, we can't do that.
All right, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Keep spending money.
Doing that.
All right, next up, right-of-ways for Northern Valley Communications. Dirk is at a meeting today in Pier, but he does recommend the approval of the right-of-ways.
There's 2 for Northern Valley. One is on Highway 14E in section 2223, Township 123, Range 63. It's boring and plowing to replace fiber optics that are not working. And the other is also Northern Valley, Highway 20 in section 10, Township 124, Range 60. Boring and plowing also to install broadband.
Dirk has no problem with either one of them and approves or recommends approval.
Move to approve.
Okay, motion by Feldheim, second by Weiss. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next up, approve and authorize Allison Thunheim, HR Director, to sign the documents for our current, or our ongoing cafeteria plan. Copy of that in the packet, if everyone saw it.
It was easy reading too.
Yeah. Entertain a motion to approve if anyone sees fit.
Second.
Motion by Gage, second by Weiss. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
As we stay healthy, it makes them palatable.
Right. Approve using public purchase and public surplus for bids, auction, et cetera.
This is at no cost to the county. How they make their money is based on the people that log in and do the buying, bidding, is they have to pay a fee. So it's no, like I said, it's free to the county all the way around. And able to get us out a little bit further, and then, we can also have the link tied on our website, so if they go in our website and see what the bids, they can just click that link and see all the details there for them.
That was the 10.5% margin.
buyer's premium. It's pretty standard almost all online auctions that the buyer's premium pays it out rather than the person selling. It's pretty common thing.
I don't know if Wayne, Mike, if you guys did really carry it all out at convention, he had a booth out there, but.
Briefly.
Yeah, he's been in contact with the surplus part of it, and then Val is in contact with purchase, so.
That arrangement keeps us from getting crossways with any state statutes about fees and the rest of that kind of stuff.
And it increases our exposure too, so.
So you need a motion to approve?
Yeah.
Motion by Weiss,
Second.
second by Denner to approve. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. All right, next up, consent calendar.
Okay, approval of the general meeting minutes from September 10th.
Ooh, second.
Motion by Feldheim, second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Claims and payroll.
Move.
Motion by Gage, second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
HR report.
Move. Second.
Motion by Dennert, second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Lease agreement.
Move.
Second.
Motion by Feldheim, second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Claim assignments.
Move.
Second.
Motion by Gage, second by Dennert. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Travel request.
Move.
Motion by Feldheim,
Second.
second by Gage. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Off to
Aye.
resorts.
Opposed, nay. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We need to have, we need to have Arrowwood change their name.
Doesn't look good.
Spending a lot of time at resorts.
Local emergency management performance grant for fourth quarter.
Move.
Motion by Weiss, second by Dennert. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Zoning ordinance, set the hearing date and authorized advertising.
Move.
Second.
Motion by Gage, second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Plat, these are final plats. First off, Somke second subdivision.
Move. Motion by Dennert,
Second.
second by Weiss. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Donald Drava and WW Rentals first edition.
Move.
Motion by Weiss,
Second.
second by Dennert. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
OALC second subdivision.
Move.
Second.
Motion by Feldheim, second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Dixon third edition.
Move.
Motion by Weiss,
Second.
second by Gage. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Any other business to come before the Brown County Commission this morning? Good morning, Carl.
Good morning. I'll be really short. Carl Perry, Senator-elect, District 3. And the Exchange Club of Aberdeen met on Monday of this week, and they gave out some awards. And once in a while, we need to say good things about the young people that are in our communities. Zach Blackus was the speaker, NSU Foundation President and CEO. But they give a Young Citizenship Award out, and this is for preschool, pre-high school students who demonstrate good citizenship both at school and at home. And the winners of that for Aberdeen Roncalli Youth Citizenship Award were Jackson Kaiser and Amelia Martin. And for Holgate Youth Citizenship Awards, it went to Bennett Rotali and Alice Brunmeister Meyer. And then for Simmons Youth Citizen Award winners, it was Trey Casanova and Atelli Riggs. And then for the Youth of the Month, which is another big event for these kids, Aberdeen Central Youth of the Month. And when you considered how many kids are at Central, Paige Veskma was the winner of that. The Aberdeen Roncalli winner was Brody Weinmeister, and the Aberdeen Christian Youth of the Month was Taylor Ingemanson. And there are a lot of great kids out there in Brown County, and once in a while we need to just say, we've got some good kids in Brown County, and that's why I'm here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carl.
Thank you.
thank you to the Exchange Club for doing that. Any other business come before the Brown County Commission? We've had a request to go into exec for personnel.
I noted that in the packet, there was included a copy of specific guidelines for public comment. Was that something for consideration of future adoption, or just?
For your information.
Okay. Do we have similar guidelines, or ours are just kind of open to me?
I read them over, and I think for the most part, we're following, I know that was one of the topics that was discussed at one of the breakout sessions, and when I listened to that, I think we're following the rules
Right.
pretty well, and
It just appears that this was something that they adopted, so there's pretty specific guidelines to be
Right.
followed if there's any questions, so I was just curious if that was something we wanted to consider to more clearly define ours, or just for information, but I don't know that we've got that specifically guidelines for our public comment. Hasn't been an issue, but
right.
just to note that that was there, and I didn't see any issues with any of the stipulations in what they've adopted, so.
Right.
Just curious.
And I know one of the issues that was discussed in that phase was he impressed on us not to engage in conversation. It's for comment, for them to comment. When they're done, thank them and let them move on, because you don't want it to become interactive.
Right.
And I think we've been told and been trying to abide by that.
Yeah, and if there's something brought up that needs future action, then it should be put on the agenda for a future meeting, so.
Right.
Yep.
Yep. When I read through them, I thought, well, we're pretty much in compliance from what I could see, and we'll make note of it, and so.
Sure. Okay.
Scott, anything else?
No, I was just waiting that stage over there.
Oh, sorry.
Bad timing.
I do have a question for Lynn, but it's simple.
All right, with that, I would entertain a motion to go into executive session. Motion by Weiss. Second by Feldheim. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
I think you gotta add legal to that too, though, don't you?
Add legal?
Because that's,
Contract.
Oh, contract. Contract.
Contract.
Yep.
Thank you all.
Contract.
thinking of that, then we got off on the.
All right. Lights back on. We are back in session, out of exec with no action as a result. Should have done it while they were here, but I want to thank Rachel and her crew for getting everything set up out at the youth camp for our picnic on Saturday. Lynn and her family for organizing what they did. They helped set everything up. Appreciate that. And the commissioners for showing up on this. We'll, prior to next year, we'll probably put out a questionnaire or a poll or something to see what people think. It's kind of a dismal turnout, and for a variety of reasons, but we'll maybe figure out a different plan for next year. With that, I have nothing else. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move.
Second. Motion by Weiss, second by Denner. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are adjourned.